we have the final tally in the Deshaun Watson trade.
All right.
Speaking
of
the
fire
Houston
ants.
Texans over to the Cleveland Browns. Because there was
Speaking
a lot.
of termites,
there's a lot here. A lot of players coming and going, and
you can combat them with stiff towels.
Yeah, you can.
Take them right on out of here.
So, Brady, you got a list of these names that have been put together? Because the more you look back on this, the more you realize Houston absolutely fleeced Cleveland on this deal. And I understand the reason behind why they wanted to make the deal. Baker Mayfield wanted out, and they were trying to fix the quarterback issue. But Houston ended up with everything they got back in the trade and still ended up with the better quarterback than Cleveland.
Wow.
I don't know how Cleveland looks at this and goes, yeah, we're still good with everything that went down.
Yeah, so indirectly or directly from the trade, here are all the players that Houston has received. So again, and indirectly meaning like they had a pick, they traded back, accumulated more picks, which led to the drafting of that player, if that makes some sense. Kenyon Green is one of their starting offensive linemen. John Mechie III, all right, one of their wide receivers. Christian Harris at linebacker. Thomas Booker, Damian Pierce, they're one of the running backs. Will Anderson Jr., obviously their star defensive end. Kalen Bullock, the safety for him. We all know about Tank Dell, was phenomenal last year. Obviously, thoughts and prayers with him. Obviously, he went through an issue this past 72 hours. Kamari Lassiter this year, who will play cornerback for them. Jamal Hill, I believe, is a linebacker. And then Cade Stover at tight end. So those are all of the players that they got in exchange. And they didn't obviously utilize the draft capital from the trade to get C.J. Stroud, but obviously because of the trade, you had a need for a quarterback, so that led them then to drafting C.J. Stroud.
Yeah. Who would you rather take right now, C.J. Stroud or Deshaun Watson?
C.J. Stroud.
Oh, God. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud.
Dang.
And you know what I love about him, too, and because I got to see a little bit of the deal that he did with Micah Parsons, is that young man loves football.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he loves football.
When they were designing that play, that make-believe play that they were going to, like they were scouting.
Well, it's not a make-believe, but yeah.
Like putting together, like, how would you beat my defense? He's pretty sharp, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he loves ball. He loves the X's and O's. He loves all of that. Like, there's no question to me him being able to be one of the top quarterbacks in this league. Like, it's funny. Like, I would say there's Patrick Mahomes, who plays the style in his own way, like very different from Tom Brady, even though he's chasing Tom Brady. I would actually make the case that, like, C.J. Stroud is kind of more of that, like, Tom Brady-esque in the way he plays. Like, from the pocket, he can obviously move and create, but a lot of it's just absolute lethal accuracy from the pocket, downfield, clutch throws, all that. Like, that game, I think, mimics more Tom Brady than where Patrick Mahomes' game is, just with his running ability and the way he creates and throws cross-body and all that stuff. I mean, Brady wasn't doing that sort of thing. Not saying the Stroud can't make some of those throws, but you see him kind of play within the pocket much more. And the sky's the limit for him, man. Like, if you were building a franchise right now and you had to take a quarterback, I think everyone would say Patrick Mahomes. Pretty soon after that, you're probably saying C.J. Stroud.
At what point do you say we've got to figure out how to move on from this guy?
After this year.
If
they don't have the success that they want to have in Cleveland this year, you'd start be thinking about the plan afterwards.
I mean, he's held you hostage for what, 3 years now? Two years?
Two, at least as part of the Browns organization.
Yeah, man.
I want to do Browns fans, because I have a buddy who's a Browns fan. I heard some people talking when we were doing the graduate remote in Columbus that they're kind of over it. Like I think they all feel like, yeah, we got hosed here. Just not.
They're accepting of it.
It's almost like because when Joe Flacco came in and played the way that he played, man, Deshaun Watson's never played like that since being in Cleveland. And I know he's been injured, but that's part of the story. Like your availability is your best ability. He hasn't been there.
I take that back, by the way. They can't move on from him until after 2026.
Dang.
Like it literally, he's got 3 more years there. There's nothing Cleveland can do unless they want to take probably the biggest dead cap hit in the history of the NFL. Dang. I mean, the next 2 years, like you were in territory of there's no way. If they were to move on from him this year, which obviously they're not, all right, so that's a hypothetical. I'm not even going to tell you the number, but it's a 9-figure number and it starts with a 2. After 2025, or around 2025, it'd be $136 million, basically $137 million. And then 2026 it'd be 72, almost 73 million.
Good God!
I mean, honestly, don't you got?
There's by the way, there's nothing Cleveland can do.
There's nothing they can do. So if he goes out there and he plays, and something happens, soft tissue injury of some kind,
Guaranteed.
hits his head. It's
an awesome contract for players. Like I wish more players could sign something like this. It is the most security that a player has ever had in NFL history.
Well, you just gave your boy some props. Give him some props.
Yeah, there's nothing greater. There's nothing else to say. It's the greatest contract in NFL history.
Show the agent some love. Go ahead, give him a
David
prop.
Mulligata.
Bam!
Sign him to it.
All
it's
right.
the greatest contract in NFL history. But it does put the team in a precarious spot where if they don't feel like he's playing up to the standard they need him to, there's nothing they can do. I mean, you could try to trade him, but you'd be hard pressed to find a team that
ain't nobody trading for him.
Well, they're not trading for him in the contract if he hasn't played well enough, right? Like if Cleveland's like, well, he's not playing well enough for us, they're like, why are we going to take him off your hands?
Right, not for that price tag.
No,
it's not possible.
But it's the greatest contract in NFL history, and I don't know that it'll ever be challenged anytime soon. It will be surpassed maybe with total value, but not as far as guaranteed at signing. To have a 5-year fully guaranteed deal, it's just ridiculous. Like I don't know that you're going to see an owner want to do that with a player. I mean, Patrick Mahomes would be the player that you would have done it with, and obviously Clark Hunt hasn't even done that.
Yeah, it's not a great setup for the Cleveland Browns, but who knows? And he is throwing. I did see he was.
He's throwing.
Well, I think he was throwing the ball 40 yards. That was the last update I
40
saw
yards
last week. Yeah, so
all
he's
right.
off the surgery. From
Shots
last
out
year.
to Deshaun.
And by the way, if you were looking for a potential trade partner, you
Yep.
probably want somebody with a common interest. Might I recommend the Patriots? I'm just saying. There is the potential of.
Why would they do that?
Bobby Orchids.
Bobby Orchids. There's some relatability
joint
there.
discount. Joint discount.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah. See?
Joint sessions
it's like a family plan.
Therapy sessions. Like, let's talk. You're Bobby Orchids. I'm Tile Watson. I'm Massage Watson. Hi, I have a problem. I like massages. I mean, they both like massages.
That's a great point.
One wanted to be more private. The other one just went ahead and went in.
Yeah,
to the parlor. Dang.
Couple of thoroughbreds. That's
now
for sure.
that you've said it. Now the Patriots don't seem so bad, even though they had a draft pick.
Can always go home.
Dang.